Welcome to MJ Yaks Movies. Today I'll be yakking the film The Big Sleep, directed by Michael Winner. This is a remake of the film of the same name from earlier, starring Humphrey Bogart. It's also an adaptation as well from the novel by Raymond Chandler. It stars Robert Mitchum as Philip Marlowe. This is a part of the Marlowe-averse. James Stewart as a general, a retired American general, who has hired Philip Marlowe to get to the bottom of some blackmailing, some extortion that's occurring. Candy Clark and Sarah Miles as his unhinged daughters, Oliver Reed as a London gangster, and then a bunch of other actors that I was not familiar with at the time of the making of this movie. Insofar as the plot, much like with any Philip Marlowe film, with any film noir film, it's convoluted. So beyond what I've mentioned, I really can't get into more without getting into the webs that were woven by this story, by this film. One thing I'll say to begin that is that early on in the film, Robert Mitchum is questioned as to his Americanness, and he says, well, I moved here after the war, I stayed here after the war. One presumes the Second World War. And after that line of dialogue, I was fine. So Hollywood writers, Hollywood casting producers take note, just one line of dialogue and you don't need to have a bad accent in your movie. Hashtag bad accent work. In this movie, the daughters of James Stewart are absolutely unhinged. And I think that's one part of character choice, but it's also a choice which is dependent on the fact that Robert Mitchum is so much older than the character's supposed to be. So the Philip Marlowe character is supposed to be in his mid-30s, a gruff mid-30s, but in his mid-30s nevertheless. And once again, the casting director of this film has decided rather than have an age-appropriate Philip Marlowe, they're going to have a 60-plus, verging on 70 Philip Marlowe. And so when the daughters are insanely, rapidly attracted to Philip Marlowe, it's a bit odd, but, stranger things have happened. And again, these daughters, I think, are supposed to be unhinged anyways, so it's not outside of the realm of the character, but it's a bit odd. Overall, I'll say that this movie also is interesting, different, and a bit bizarre because it takes place in, at the time, contemporary London rather than 1940s LA. So there's a bit of post-swinging London that one witnesses while viewing this film. Overall, I'd say that it's pretty good. So between yay, nay, and in between, for me, it's a slight yay. Definitely watch it if you like film noirs, if you like Philip Marlowe films. If you don't like unhinged daughters being attracted to much, much older Philip Marlowe's, perhaps stay away from this one. But otherwise, let me know what you guys think. Like and subscribe. Cheers.